Welcome to Somewhat Awesome Games. Thanks to Square Enix and Marvel, we're playing Guardians of the Galaxy. Before its launch, I'm going to show you all the characters' abilities, and we're going to rock some combat. I'm going to recommend the abilities that you should buy early. Plus, if you want to see the abilities in detail, pause the screen on the ones you want to know about. I'm going to run through these. The Star-Lord, as you can see here, starts off with Vantage Point. He can fly around and shoot things. Useful sometimes, not perfect every time. One I recommend buying is Ban the Hammer. This one costs you 2 ability points, and it just unloads on enemies. Then, towards the end of the game, pick up Eye of the Hurricane if you want. Most of the time, because you are Star-Lord and this game really focuses on you being the leader of the pack, you'll be telling the other characters what to do, and that's more of what the combat is based around. You unlock Shield of Spartax, which makes you invulnerable for a long time. Jumping over the rocket, we start off with Cluster Flark Bomb, which is a big explosion that will hit a target and anyone around it. Grab Stack Grenade is the one I recommend buying for him. This will cost you 2 ability points. Incredibly useful, as you can see there. It just groups up people in an area, makes them an easy target, especially for like fanning the hammer or some of the other abilities we're about to get into with the other characters. Glowing Pains Grenade slows enemies down, good stagger. Don't use it a lot, really stick with the Grab Stack Grenade, super useful. Fire Barrel Barrage, you'll unlock this as you play through it. He just goes to town with 5 guns, melting everything in its way. Groot, a very useful ability, just like Rocket's Grenade. Entangle will keep enemies locked down and just a whole group of them, but it doesn't bring them together. So I prefer Uproot. So when you do the Grab Grenade and bring everyone together, you can do the Uproot and hit them all at once with Groot. So very useful combo there. Mammoth Grab, didn't use this a lot. It targets one enemy and does a little bit of stagger to him, has a long cooldown. Wasn't a fan. Gift of Flora will revive any allies that are down, if they're down. If you're good at the game, hopefully they won't be going down. And if you go down, it'll also revive you. Otherwise, you can just use it and it will give you your health back. Gamora, she has Deadly Strike, so this will target one enemy, do a lot of damage. Pretty useful if you're taking on some of the mini bosses and stuff. Otherwise, Shadow Strike is where it's at. Again, open with Rocket's Grenade, maybe do Uproot with Groot, then into a Shadow Strike, and then into one of DRAX's abilities. Otherwise, got Stagger Wave, which will hit an enemy and then stagger a bunch around it. So kind of cool, kind of useful, but Shadow Strike is where it's at. I use this all the time. Executioner, her ability that will unlock for free as you play through the game. DRAX the Destroyer. We've got Destroy. He'll attack a single enemy and deal a bunch of damage. Very similar to Gamora's first ability. Otherwise, we've got the Charge here. This is a great combo. Grab Stack Grenade, Uproot, Gamora with a Shadow Strike, and if they're still alive and kicking, you can finish them off with this, or you can do the Grab Stack Grenade into this with Uproot, and then Gamora can finish them off. So I find the abilities that cost 2 points to be the ones to go for when dealing with groups. Otherwise, you want these ones that deal a lot of damage to a single enemy when you face mini bosses or when you face Nova Centurions. Wrath of Katath, nice little rhyme there. Just a very powerful, heavy stagger damage to one enemy and then stagger a whole bunch of enemies around it. Pretty good. So with the abilities seen, so we're here in the section here, we're fighting these Nova Corps, who has these elemental abilities. So right now we've got Ice. You can see those guys need the Ice Shields to be removed. Before we get into this combat and start using all their abilities, we're going to go into Settings, we're going to go to Controls, and we're going to make sure that Enable Lock Targeting Switching is on. This will be very useful when trying to deal with enemies who come in with shields that need an elemental attack. You can quickly change to them and get rid of those shields. Otherwise, we'll go with the control scheme here. The default is hold for ability selection. So when you're trying to pick your team's abilities, you have to hold the button down. It's a little bit finger gymnastics going on when you're trying to do everything else. So I recommend doing press for ability selection. Much easier to do, much more time to do stuff. It's just nicer. So that's my changes for combat from the default controls. Otherwise, let's get back into this. So, like I said, so we got a bunch of Nova Corps here. We go with Rocket here, into the grab, so X. Bring them all together. Group with the Uproot. We can get DRAX on the charge, run through any guys who are left. And if they're still alive, Gamora can finish them off with her Shadow Strike and pick them up. So you can see they had a 3 times damage multiplier as well. So this guy's been hit once by one of our character's attacks. The multiplier increases the more your team hits the enemies. Alright, let's rock a few more abilities. So there are environmental hazards you can use. So Gamora can attack boxes and make them drop on people. You'll see Drax is down, so using Groot's special ability, we can revive him without having to go over there and heal him. And we'll get Rocket to use his grab grenade. I'll show off Peter Quill's Fan the Hammer, so you can see it melts them. So you can see, we've used one ability on these guys, so they've got a damage increase of 1. If we use multiple abilities, so let's lock them down. Increase of 1. Gamora hits them, increase of 2. Drax hits them. If they were still alive, we get Drax to hit this guy. Boom. Increase of 1. We get Rocket to pull them in. Increase of 2. So now they take 2 times the damage they would normally. So very useful, especially if you're taking on like a guy like this or a bigger guy. If we hit him with multiple abilities in a row, we can absolutely melt him. So we will summon the team. We'll huddle up here, get everyone motivated, ready to fight.
What a blast! I haven't felt this excited since the Galactic War!
Better watch her out there, Quill. She fought on both sides, remember? Whereas me, I don't need to take sides to mow anybody down. I just love making scumbusters go boom!
Okay, I get it. Those creeps out there, fighting them gets the blood pumping. Oh yeah. But if you listen to that pumping too hard, your heart takes a dive and the losing starts. Stay on target and we'll make them all go boom. Who's with me?
Alright, we motivated our team. Now normally, a pop song would play here, but since that's licensed music, we don't have the license for that. We'll do our little combo here. Boom, boom, boom. Nail him. Get Gamora to hit him. 3 times the damage. Get Drax to hit him. 4 times the damage. Now if I have to do Fan the Hammer, just absolutely obliterates that guy. Completely gone. Fantastic combo. Because we've just motivated our team, our abilities are much quicker now. So we can go in there and absolutely slaughter everyone in the way. Let's just go to town on these guys. We can get Drax through this. Just keep sliding around, stay on the move. We can use their other abilities. So you'll see those pink shields, that means their special abilities are still available. So even if they don't have their basic abilities available, you can still use their special abilities. Drax go crazy. Cut that. Gamora with the thing, charge up our guns. It's just chaotic, it's great. So these guys have shields, so we need to use elementals. So we put our elemental lock on before, or our character lock on. We'll pull these guys together. Uproot. Gamora's destroying that guy's shield, so a little Y prompt popped up a second before that. We'll get Drax to finish these guys off. We'll go with the pummel ability instead of the charge, just to make sure that he hits him. We will use our grenades for an area effect, rather than standing still shooting, just to make sure we don't get shot too much. We got one big guy left here. He's protecting his team pretty well, whether he means to or not. Get Gamora to do, let's go with this one. Bit of stagger waves going. So you can see the damage that this guy can take when he's not got the multiplier. So it's quite tough. So if we get him multiplied up, even just little hits will be better than nothing. Now he just dies. Now he just gets destroyed. So when you're dealing with guys like this, you really want to get those multipliers so it's just much quicker. So look how slow that is. When we first fought one of these, that was like almost instant death for that guy. We'll get Gamora to do a big heavy strike on him. That should finish him off. Or we could freeze him up with our elementals and then finish with a stylish move like that. Drax killing that guy off. So that's a little bit of looking combat. If you want to see some more, do let me know. I've played this so much that I can show you all kinds of things if the situation calls for it. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick look at the game, and I'll see you in the future.